You know that Monday morning after a moment of motivation when you are absolutely determined something is going to change, has to change, needs to change. And somehow a few days later, a few weeks later, and you're right back where you started. It doesn't have to be that way. There are predictable places we get stuck. We've all been there at some point, somewhere between wanting a result and actually being able to make it happen. That's why I created the 5S roadmap. It's a roadmap to the success, the results that you actually want and need. Once you see where you are on this road, struggling to follow through stops being such a mystery, because one of the worst places any of us can be, one of the worst places to live, is the stuck struggling between hope and doubt, between the hope that something more is possible and the doubt that it's going to be possible for you. Too often you're left wondering whether you can actually make it happen. It doesn't need to stay this way. It's a suffering that doesn't need to exist. If this is helpful to you, please like and subscribe. This is the first in an ongoing series of helping you understand why we struggle to create the results that you're after. So let me show you the 5S roadmap. There are 5 biggest traps that we all get stuck in. Most people, if we look around, we aren't like other people. Many people are just sitting, waiting, not really working toward any goal, any outcome, any result. But we don't have that luxury. That's not who we are. That's not what we do. And that's why we're here and having this conversation. I believe more people would be pursuing their goals if they actually believed it was going to be possible for them. I think the struggle that we're talking about has consequences for us and those we love and care about, for those that we lead, for our companies, for our teams, for the people that we care so much about. It doesn't have to stay that way. There are those of us who actually have a dream, a vision, a result that we need to create. But this gap, how do we cross it? We've struggled there too many times. It's more difficult than it needs to be because we haven't understood what's actually going on. The frustration, the expectation is the fact that it looks like a straight path, looks like it's going to be easy, but we know different. We've each experienced. And because of that frustration, too many people are left sitting, waiting for someday. The first place most get stuck is waiting for someday. And I can't blame a lot of people when we don't understand. We weren't trained for this, but we are built for it. That's why these conversations matter so much. Because the path does look like a straight line, but someday has a cost. The entire time, it's costing time. Waiting has an expense, an opportunity cost, a growth and development cost. It's too expensive. We don't get that time back. At the same time, that opportunity cost in the revenue that we could be generating, the results we could be generating that we need, that those we love and care about need, that our companies need. It matters too much. It's why we're talking about this. So you take off, you believe you're unlike everyone else. One more time, I'm going to give it a try. That moment of motivation. And you start on the path toward that goal. It's a straight line, isn't it? But after you've been sparked, inspired, motivated, and you set off on that, too often, we've all been there. That moment of motivation passes, and all of a sudden we find ourselves slipping, wondering what happened, find ourselves falling out of motivation, falling into a struggle that we weren't expecting. And this is the place that so many get stuck. It's that wondering how I ever got here. What happened to the motivation? And unfortunately, too many people start chasing motivation, more information, another podcast, another book, another conversation, another course, another coach, another something that leaves you struggling, wears you out. Again, time and money. It's taking energy from you this entire time. The third place that people get stuck is in starting over. Once I saw this, I've never seen the struggle the same way again. It's changed my life. And I believe it will for you too. Because what happens when many of us get here, and we've all done it, we've wondered, this frustration, this difficulty, oh, this wasn't the right goal. This wasn't the right objective. I just need to start over. So what do? We begin the starting over process. We go back to the beginning, looking for a new goal, a new objective, a new place to start. But unfortunately, you end up back in the same place you were before, stuck in the same valley, wondering the same thing, asking the same questions. But what many people do, again, get stuck in this pattern of starting over and over and over and over again, not making any progress, but the entire time, again, less energy, less time, less money. The cost is real. It's getting expensive, and you need to figure it out. Your life, your business, your results can't afford it. The third way you get stuck in this valley of despair and frustration is the challenges in front of you are way more than you expected. You're wondering what happened. It looks so simple. Remember that straight line we were talking about? You're down here wondering, why is it so stressful? Why is there so much anxiety? Why am I experiencing doubt, fear, procrastination, and other forms of self-sabotage that can leave you depressed? And at worst, feeling a sense of despair. I know that's my story. In 2008, I was in a very deep, dark hole. I didn't believe that I would ever end up there, but there I was. I had worked so hard. I had pushed so hard, but yet there I was. You don't have to stay there. That's why this work matters so much. That's why this conversation is so important. Excuse my voice. I'm just getting over laryngitis, but this conversation matters too much. The fourth place we can get stuck is in burnout, in the scramble up the hill, pushing our way through the challenges, doing more of the same. Whatever got you the success you had back here, you believe it's the same success. It's the same thing that's going to get you the success you want in the future. Throwing more of the same at the challenge simply leads to burnout, leads to more frustration, more difficulty, and leaves you wondering, what do you do when doing more isn't enough anymore? Some people make it up here to success, the goal, the objective. But unless serious work has been done that can keep you there, how many times have you reached a result, revenue, health, relationships, only to find yourself struggling again, back, scrambling through the challenges and the difficulties, unable to sustain the success you were after? It doesn't have to stay that way. You don't have to continue scrambling. You're not designed to stuck. We weren't trained for this, but you are built for it. The question is, what are you going to do now? Too many people end up, as I said, stuck in one of these places, simply doing more of the same. It's not sustainable, and we see it all around us. The world is full of too much depression, too many leaders quietly sitting in their offices wondering what they're going to do, too many people that care for their family that need new results in the changing world, the changing economy. Something in your world has changed, or something inside of you has changed. Maybe your effort to get to the success you thought was going to fill that hole, that emptiness, that need for satisfaction and fulfillment just isn't fulfilling. There is no peace. There is no quiet. It's just more of the same, more grind and more difficulty. As we talked about, too many people are just starting this process, and that's not what success is supposed to look like. But unfortunately, that's the experience of too many of us. It's supposed to be a steady climb up when you understand this transformational process of becoming the person your results need you to be. That's why we have these conversations. Now what? What are you going to do? So the point of the 5.5S roadmap to getting what you want isn't to specifically label where you are. It's here to help you see what's actually happening behind the scenes, underneath the surface. We're experiencing the challenges that everyone sees, that we feel. But what's going on underneath the surface isn't something we were trained for or know how to get out of. Because if you keep treating every struggle like a motivation or a discipline problem, like all the bro culture, the drive and grind culture will have you believe, you keep trying to solve your problem, just more effort, more of the same. And depending on where you are on this road, more effort may not be what you need. Your job is to recognize where you are. And my job is to help you understand what's keeping you there and to help you take the next effective steps to transform your experience, to become the person your results need you to be, your life needs you to be, the people you love and care about need you to be. If you're wondering what may be getting in your way right now, I created a short assessment to help you identify the patterns that are creating the most friction for you right now. It takes about 3 minutes. The link is below in the description. Start there. See what you discover. I look forward to talking to you soon.